Okay, Matt, these are two games that I use when I discover that my students aren't reading the textbook the way that they should, or you can use them also as review games as well. No harm, no foul in that, but I tend to use them when I figure out that we're covering content and they got to read the textbook and they're not. So the two games are going to be ABC and then horse races. So, what I'll do real fast is I'll start with ABC. All right, so ABC is it's really simple. What I'll end up doing is usually is going around the room and breaking the students up into seven teams. Like I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, and so on until everybody has a number. Then when I assign the students a number, then I'll put them in a specific area of the class. And what I usually like to do for ABC is okay, ones you guys are right up here, and I have them sitting side by side facing the front. So all ones you're right here facing the front. Twos you're right here, side by side facing the front. Threes you're right here. Fours you're directly in the middle right here, side by side facing the front. Fives here, sixes here, and sevens here. Now, for ABC, each team needs three pieces of paper. And I just take like three pieces of printer paper, and they draw a big A on one, a big B on the other, and a big C on the other. So A, B, C. Then they'll have three sheets of paper for number two. They'll have A, B, C, and A, B, C. And basically, what they are is just big enough to where I can see them from standing in the front of the class. The next thing that they get is I give each team a dice. Okay, just one dice. So they get a die, they get a die, they get a die, they get a die, and so on as well. Now here's how the game is played. For public policy ABC, what I'll do is create a list of questions beforehand, and this is just regular PowerPoint. Now we're covered in sections 1515 to 1518. So before we even start, I tell all the students, okay, get out your textbook and turn it to 1515. All answers can be found between 1515 and 1518. So it makes the students read through the text as you're playing the game. And usually I use like ABC and horse races as an entire class period and so on as well. But as you'll see here, what's going to happen is I post this question up first. The question says, what authority did the War Powers Resolution of 1973 give to the president? Was it option A, and I read it, or was it option B and C? And so I tell the students, don't hold up your answer right away. Don't hold up your answer right away. I'm going to give you about 8 seconds or about 10 seconds to formulate an answer. And then when I tell you all to hold it up after 10 seconds, you'll either hold up A, B, or C. And so I'll be at the front of the room, and I'll have both fingers up, both hands up, excuse me, I'll be 10, 9, 8, and then I count really slowly. And then finally, when I get to 0, I say, okay, hold up your answers. And everybody holds their answers up at once. All right. So, if the correct answer was A and so on. All right. So everybody holds it all up at once. Now, if your team gets the correct answer, okay, and in this situation, let me see where we're at. B is the correct answer. So if your team got the correct answer, then what I have you do is you roll the dice. All right. And I'll say, okay, team one, roll the dice. And if they roll a 5, I've got a notebook up front with me right up here. And I've got on that piece of paper, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they roll a 5. I go, oh, good. I'll write down a 5. Team 2, roll a dice. Oh, they get a 3. I put a 3 here. Team 3 rolled up. They get a 4. And so what we're basically doing is if you get the question right, you roll the dice. And at the end of the game, the highest points wins. So if your team gets the most amount of questions correct and you have the highest point value from all your rolls, then you win. Now, the trick to ABC is this. I always tell them that if you roll a 2, you get to roll again and add the 2 on to your next roll. So if team 1 rolls a 2, I'll say, okay, roll again. I'll write a 2 in my notebook, and they roll a 6. Then I write 6, and I write 2 plus 6. Okay, that was an 8-point. It was an 8-point roll. Now if they roll a 2, 2, 2, 6, they just had a 12-point roll. And so I'll go through all these questions. Once again, that's question 1. Whoever gets it right, we'll have them roll the dice, and I'll be recording it. Then question 2, we'll do the same thing. I'll put this up in front of the class, and then they'll go ahead and after 10 seconds hold up their answers, and if they get it right, then they roll the dice again. And then 3, and then obviously 4, I add some pop culture. I'll say, like, name the movie, and so they have to write down the name of this movie, and then I come around and check it. If they get it right, then they roll the dice again. And so after round 1, you're going to have a point value total. After round 2, they'll roll again. You'll add on round 1 scores to round 2 and so on as well. I don't usually read the scores until after increments of 4. So after question 4, after question 8, and then at the very end of the game, what I'll do is I'll take the top 2 or top 3 groups, come up to the front of the class, read out what their scores are, and then they'll do a final roll. And usually most of the time, like for the final question, I'll do like a double or triple point roll. So whatever they roll, they get double the points to make it interesting. And then I usually have third place roll first and tell them what their final score is. And then second place roll second, and then tell them what their score is. And then first place has to do that final roll. And if they're behind, they have to roll a die. They have to roll the dice, and they have to beat whatever they're down by. So that's a really good game that I play in regards to forcing kids to read, because once again, their books are in front of them, and they're scouring through the pages looking for the answers to these questions, and actually reading the textbook and so on as well. So I like that one a lot. So that's ABC. The second one that I do is horse races. Let me see if I can bring this one up. Horse races. Okay, so for horse races, what I'm going to do here is this. Horse races, the kids are divided into 6 teams, and it has to be 6. You'll understand why here in a second. So once again, I go throughout the room and I go, you're a 1, you're a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, and so on. So everybody gets a number. Team 1, you guys sit here side by side facing the front. Team 2, you guys are here. Team 3, you're here. Team 4, you're here. Team 5, or what have you. Okay, you 1, 2, 3, 4 is over here. 5. You can 6. You can do it whatever you want. Now with horse races, what I'll do is this. I give each team 2 things. Number 1, I give them a piece of paper that has a large T on it, and another that has a large F on it, because all of these questions are true/false. The other thing that I give them is an index card. So they get a T and an F and an index card. They get a T and an F and an index card, and so on as well. The index card is their horse. And I tell them, okay, this is your horse. Now give me a name for your horse. And so let's say team 1 says, our horse's name is Seabiscuit, and we're the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and we're Team Smith, whatever. It can be whatever they want, but they write their horse name on that index card and hold on to the true or false. Once I get all the index cards, then I draw this diagram up on the board, okay? So here it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so team 1's horse, I usually just put the index card right there and put a magnet over top. That's the stall that they start at. Team 2, they go right here, a magnet over top of the index card. Team 3, Team 4, Team 5, and Team 6. Now, what will happen is this. It's just kind of like ABC. Now, this is pages 422 to 431, so I'll tell them, all right, sit side by side facing the front. Now, take out your textbooks and turn to page 422. All answers can be found between 422 and 431. And I usually write the page numbers on the board somewhere so they can always refer back to them. Then I say, okay, all right, just like ABC, don't hold your answers up right away, but here we go. All right, so abandoning the gold standard would increase the value of the dollar. And so true or false. And so once again, I will be up at the front of the room controlling the computer, counting down from 10, like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and so on as well. Now when I get to 1, I'll say, okay, now ready? Ready? Hold up your answers. And they'll either hold up true or false. True or false. So let's say that all of them said false. All of them said false, which is the correct answer here. Then what I do is this. I have 2 dice up here on my desk. And usually when they are between the time I'm counting down after I show the question and I'm counting down from 10, I give one die to two groups. So you get a dice and you get a dice. And then if you get it right, what happens is this. We're going to throw those dice. Usually, let me go back here. So we're going to launch those dice to the front of the room. So they grab it and they just launch it to the front of the room. And I just have them throw it against the wall and then it comes back. Or you can just have them roll it in their immediate area as well. But whatever number comes up, if that team got it right, then their horse moves forward. Okay? So if we're starting off with question 1 and everybody got it right and the first group rolls that dice and number 1 comes up, then I move their index card from this lane to this lane. All right? So if a 1 comes up and then the next dice that is rolled, then the next dice rolls a 5, and they go from here to here. So only 2 opportunities to move forward in each round. 2 opportunities to move forward. So first dice that was rolled, 1 they go forward. Second dice was a 5, they go forward. Now if 2 5s are rolled, here and then here. And the team that gets to the very end is the winner of the game. Now, the only thing is this. If they get the question wrong, then if they get the question wrong and they're sitting here and their number comes up, then they go backwards. All right. So 5 sitting here and they guess the wrong answer, and one group rolls the dice, and a 5 comes up, then they go backwards. If 5's rolled again, they go backwards. Remember, only 2 rolls per round. And so usually what I do once again is here I go. I got regular question. Then I go ahead and throw out a pop culture question for them to write down. And I go around and check it and so on as well. But this is a really good game too. Students really like it. It's very easy to do. And basically what I usually do is the winner I'll give a prize to, like anything like a piece of candy or anything else. So it's pretty easy to do. Usually sometimes what I'll do though, if I use this game more than once, is I'll remember who the winning team is and I'll put them together again for the next time that we play horse races, because if one horse consecutively wins 3 games in a row, 3 class period games in a row, then I retire them up to the front of the room. I've got a place in the front of the room where I tape their index card up, and that index card stays there forever because they're a Triple Crown winner. So a couple things I do. So really good. I think it's really good in regards to having students, forcing them to read the textbook. However, if they're reading the textbook and you just want to just review some ideas and create some questions, just do true false. Another great way to do it too. So that's ABC in horse races. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to text me, or more importantly, email me or call me or what have you, and I can hopefully explain some of the ideas that I have not. So, all right, take care. Hope all is well, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.